Welcome back to Maths in an Empty Classroom with me, Mr. Southern. This is part 2 of the lesson on arithmetic progressions. Here we're looking at finding the sum of the series 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus up to 75. That's where the series stops. Just a quick word on series. I've used the word sequences, I'm now using the word series. They are technically two different things. A sequence is just the list of numbers, so 5, 7, 9, 11, etc. A series is actually a sum, so it's when we're finding the sum of the terms of a sequence. So the sum of the terms of a sequence is a series. Sequence series, they're used interchangeably, don't worry too much about it, but that's why we have those different terms. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, we need to identify A, we need to identify D, and we need to identify N. A is the first term, I can see that is 5. D is the common difference, so what the sequence goes up or down in, and I can see that is 2. N at the moment I don't know, but I do know that the last term of my sequence is 75. So I'm going to use that formula that we mentioned in the previous video, that the last term is A plus N minus 1 D. So any term in the sequence is the first term plus one less difference. So what I can now say is I'm going to put in 75 equals 5 plus n minus 1, lots of 2. And the first thing I'd recommend doing here is, before you do anything else, is just put that 2 in front of the bracket 2n minus 1, because people sometimes get confused that the d is here in the formula. Does that mean you expand it out? Yes, it does. It's just like having the 2 at the front. So I'm now going to expand out and solve. So 75 is 5 plus 2n minus 2, which means that 75 is 2n plus 3. So 72 is 2n, which means that n is 36, which means there are 36 terms in this sequence. So started off, I had to find the number of terms to allow me to use the sum to n formula. Now remember, in the previous video I said the sum to n formula that people often forget to use. In this case it's your friend. The sum to n is n over 2 a plus l, where a is the first term and l is the last term. Now in the previous example we didn't use this formula because we didn't know the last term of the series we were summing. Now we do know that the last term is 75. This is a much more efficient version of that formula. So the sum to 36 terms, because I've worked out that n is 36, 36 over 2, a, the first term is 5, plus l, the last term is 75, and I just work this out from here. So 36 over 2 is 18, 5 plus 75 is 80, so I'm doing 18 times 80, which is 1,440. So the sum to 36 terms of this series, 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11, going up in 2s, all the way up to 75, the sum of all those numbers is 1,440. Job done.